Cooking school is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. We broadcast live every Thursday at high noon on 104.5 and 106.1 from beautiful downtown Conroe, Texas. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube, so check us out there as well. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at @_Ticket Stub. Shoot us a message. We may shout it out on the air. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good. We have more sponsorships available, though. It's a great way to get the word out if you have a local business, but we are also a national show available on every podcast platform. Visit irlonestar.com for rates and stats or drop us a line at 936-647-3776. Also, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on any of those platforms. My name is Connor. I am joined in studio, as always, by Chris Appel. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
And Dick Schisler.
Hey.
Yeah, looking a little hairy today, man.
Yeah, it's rough.
Had a tough night.
Rough. I got punished. I saw Mamma Mia 2 without my fiance, so she punished me yesterday
What
for her birthday.
What you drinking there?
It's like one of those vitamin C things. I lost a lot of things yesterday, and I'm trying to get them back.
Trying to re-electrolyte it up.
Nice.
Man.
Hey,
Nice.
Man.
Wednesday's the new Friday is what I've always heard, right?
Did you know the Grand sells beer? They sell beer.
We do.
All right. Did a double feature. Well, we've got a great show today. We are going to talk about movie news. We're going to update you on the Movie Pass saga that continues to unfold, along with some other things going on in the world of movies. We're going to do our rewinds from the last week, where we talk about the movies that we've seen since we were together last, and then we're going to do top 3 movies that grew on you. Okay, so Dick, here you go. I know this, the first time you're hearing this. Top 3 list of movies that you maybe didn't like that much the first time you saw them, but over time, over rewatching, you started to like more. I don't know if you've ever had that experience with a movie, but I know I for sure have. So we'll see how that goes. We'll give away some tickets to the Grand Theater, as well as talk about how you can win more tickets to the Grand Theater every week. 2 tickets given away right here on the Ticket Stub. So if you're not participating in that, you're kind of being a fool, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I don't know how you feel about that. But,
everyone's just waiting for Movie Pass to fail. Then they'll start wanting to win tickets.
That's true.
There you go.
Hey, if you're a Movie Pass defector right now, if you're a hashtag Movie Passed and you've cut your card up, then you need to hop on this Grand Ticket giveaway, because it's the only value that will never leave you high and dry. It won't leave you out in the cold.
It's guaranteed, brah.
Yeah, Grand Ticket and Movie Tavern. We want to throw that out there. It's not just Grand Theaters, but it's also Movie Tavern that you can use them as well, which has some locations in places where there might not be a Grand Theater, DFW, for instance. So anyways, we're going to get right to it with the movie. Yippee! With the movie news. Like we said earlier, please give us a review and rating on podcast feed, Facebook. If you comment, we're Facebook Live, YouTube Live right now. If you comment, I bet we'll say it out loud on the air, and then you can be famous also. So movie news on DaytonDailyNews.com. I just Google like movie news, and then I find these articles. But I'm not a subscriber to the DaytonDailyNews.com.
Oh, you should be. It's a wonderful publication, as we're about to find out.
They had a pretty good article. And Chris, we'll weave what you just sent us. We'll weave this into this as well.
Okay, very good.
But the Dayton Daily News said that Movie Pass announces it. I was going to have an alert noise. Beep, beep. This is our Movie Pass watch. It announces that it will raise its price to $14.99 a month instead of $9.99, and it's going to block you from seeing new movies for the first 2 weeks. So a movie releases, it's basically blacked out for 2 weeks. In addition to the weekends having surge pricing up to $8 per ticket, pay additional on Friday, Saturday, Sunday as well. So
it's funny that it's almost like they're trying to figure out what works like live.
Yeah,
it's like every week they're like, all right, guys, last week didn't work. What can we do for next week? Let's raise prices. Well, yeah. But what else can we do?
It's like having a board meeting.
Well, because weren't we talking about this when MoviePass was originally available? It was $50 a month.
Or $40 or $50 a month.
$50 a month. And I remember talking about it, I go, it's kind of strange that they went from $50 to $10. Like, you think they would kind of like gradually lower it just to see.
Like, see where people are going to start buying in, what the threshold is.
And then it's like, oh, we're still getting paid. We can still keep the company afloat. And plus, we're rewarding our long-term members because now they're paying cheaper, like that kind of stuff.
Well, the story is they ran out of money Thursday during Mission Impossible, so nobody could go see that had the movie pass. Then they changed the terms and conditions over the weekend. They took out a $6.1 million loan from someone.
Yeah.
It's listed of who did it. But I guess my question to you guys is, do you think that they put up as collateral for that $6.1 million loan the data?
No, it's already been
from all the users.
That's already been negotiated.
So yes,
yeah. I think the collateral. Well, to take a loan like that, you have to either like because it was a private loan, wasn't it, or was it an actual bank loan?
I don't know.
Because the bank loans, you actually have to have physical asset, like liquid assets for it. So if is it the data? No, I don't think it's the data. It has to be something physical. So it's either their building, they own the building, or something, and that's what they're putting up for it. Or it can't be just the data. It actually has to have a value of $6.whatever million.
Well, I don't know
my thing for Connor and you is who cares?
Well, me.
Well, I'll tell you who cares. The American consumer cares. No, and that's not a joke, though. No, that's not a joke. This is given like
because you're really passionate about it.
Well,
I am because I don't
it's really strange how much you care about it in the sense of I get the theater has to deal with the BS.
No, that has nothing to do with this.
But the theater deals with BS all the time. And then we got Connor over here who's actually a subscriber. I feel like the logical person subscribing to MoviePass is going, as long as this lasts, I'm going to use it. Because it's not, I mean, there's always going to be a chance it's not going to be there tomorrow. Like you said that even at the beginning, before they're even like, we're reporting trouble. It's like, man, $10 a month, I'm going to ride this out.
Yeah.
And like the way I'm seeing it now is people are so interested in, I'm talking online, they're really interested in this. Like, they're like, oh, we're going to lock them up, or they're going to find so many fraudulent things about this. Because I'm reading it on forums, like especially like on Reddit, the movie subreddit. Like people are always like, I knew this day would come. I'm like, well, who? Like, if you really cared about this, how does it affect you? Besides, like, oh man, this is inconvenient. They're not going to let me see Mission Impossible today. Well, now I got to pay $13.
Okay, well, Chris, why are you so fired up?
The deal is,
like, did you buy stock in them? And
I did not buy stock in them because I was smart enough not to. Okay, number one. Number two, they're taking advantage of consumers. And whenever a company does that and they get as big as this company is, it is dangerous to.
But are they?
Yes, they are. You're signing up for something and you are not getting it.
I mean, you're getting like 40% of it because it works. Okay,
all right. So let's say you buy a gallon of milk and you only get like a quart, but they said that you're getting a gallon of milk.
Let's look at it like this. Say someone goes, hey, if you're going to pay $1 for a gallon of milk every time you buy milk, we're going to do that. But this a couple times you get 40% of it.
Well, what the hell kind of what the hell? Who the hell would sign up for that? Nobody would sign up for that. That's the problem.
I think I would if I
have this variable milk service where
I think if I was paying $5 to $6 for a gallon of milk, I would.
Well, here's my thing. Okay, this is a ridiculous hypothetical. This is a ridiculous hypothetical, but for me, I am still subscribed. You know, if you're caring about me personally. And where I'm at right now is I am kind of playing it month to month, trying to see, can I still get value out of this service? And so that's where I'm at right now.
Here's the thing. Don't cancel because that's what they want you to do right now.
Okay. So I'm playing into the man if I cancel.
I think so. I mean, they've got to do something to balance their in and out cash flow. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
And, you know, the more people that unsubscribe, they begin to balance out their in-out cash flow. And I think that's what's going on with this price rage. It is a rage. It is a price rage. But price rage, and I said it again, I'm just raging.
You are a rage.
No, but it's, and not seeing the movies for the first 2 weeks to come out. I think it's an intentional move to do that, to reduce the number of subscribers.
Well, I'm trying to figure out, like, they're always playing the mentality of the subscriber because they probably chose the $10 mark because the average subscription, the average subscription to anything streaming wise is $10.
Yeah, Netflix, Hulu.
So yeah.
Well, I'm thinking like that's why they chose that number. I'm like, but okay, so Connor, you got this.
Yeah.
What would
Does this mic do anything? Can I move this?
Yeah, you can move it. Yeah, there goes Chris.
Okay, sorry.
No, I was kidding. Tell me this: if they said, "Hey, $25 a month,"
I think I probably would still be a part of it.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand why they dropped so low to 10, unless they literally were just trying to do like a fire sale.
I think
like,
they had a plan that never worked. They had a plan.
What plan was that? No one knows.
This is what Mitch Lowe said. This is his explanation for running out of money and all that crap. There is no difference than other in-home streaming options that don't offer and don't carry the latest shows or movies that may be available on other services. For example, this is the exact quote. For example, you can't ever find Game of Thrones on Netflix, nor is season 4 of Blank Creek available there yet. Here at MoviePass, we strive to make every movie in theaters available to you as a part of your subscription, and peak pricing has allowed and will continue to allow us to do so. He is comparing this service to Netflix and Amazon. It is entirely different.
Yeah,
it is
that's what I'm
not the
saying.
same
I bet
thing.
they chose the $10 because they're like, hey, this is like Netflix.
But
so
you know,
people are used to paying $10.
But you know what's funny is so much of the outrage is based on people, and I'm as a subscriber to it. It's based on, first off, they're not doing what they say they're going to do, which is wrong.
Mhm.
But it's also people who feel entitled to a service that's only existed for like 9 months, and now that it's going away,
Is it going away?
or now that it's changing. But think about this: if 9 months ago they had said for $9.99 a month, you can see every movie in theaters after 2 weeks.
Sure.
I think people would have been in for that.
No,
but now that we're kind of there because of the path that we've taken,
it's
and that's
very
what I wanted to
poor
ask
business
you,
practice.
Connor,
Very
because
poor.
you were there before they started making changes every week. How has it changed your way to interact with using MoviePass? Because basically,
it's confusing. You don't know what's coming next.
and it doesn't work.
That
now.
is, well, I mean, have you ever been to the theater and it's like, sorry, Mission Impossible 3 or 5 or whatever it is, like you were actually there. You didn't get like a text message from saying, hey, don't go see Mission Impossible because we're no longer doing that.
Well,
how are they communicating these changes to you?
No, they're not. I mean, if I wasn't
emails,
if I wasn't actively, if I wasn't,
are you sure you're not getting?
Well,
emails?
it might be going to I have a spam email account that it might be going.
Well, I'm saying, because that's what I'm trying to figure out.
The app is not push notifying you in any way. I mean, you just kind of get there and all of a sudden things will be different. Like I went to the theater and all of a sudden I started having to do the ticket verification where you take a photo and send it into them. That just kind of appeared out of nowhere. And then the blackout dates just started showing up. The surge pricing just started showing up.
But you see it in the app.
But you see it
isn't like you're there and like, oh crap, now I can't go see Mission Impossible.
Well, that did happen.
That happened last night, but that was because it malfunctioned, I think. It wasn't because of
it malfunctioned.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a great time for somebody who has the money to start up a subscription-based service like MoviePass, but go the equal way. Don't say, hey, let's just do it for $10. I mean,
what's funny is I don't know that that's going to work because, like, for instance, Tinseltown or Cinemark or whatever their parent company is, they have a program where it's like $9 or $14 a month, and what you get is discounted prices at the concession. It's kind of like the Real Rewards card, discounted price to concessions. You get cash back on your card. You get one free movie a month, and then you get like cheaper buddy movies or something like that. And every time I see the commercial, I'm subconsciously thinking, that's a bad deal. But it's not a bad deal.
It's not a bad deal.
No, it's a good deal.
No.
But I've been conditioned to think that I should get all the movies I want for $9.
Yeah.
And so I think there's going to have to be.
How many movies have you seen, Connor?
I counted it up. It's like 47 or something like that.
So you've seen 47 movies since you started. When did you start your subscription?
I think I actually got the card in September. So it's been like 9-10 months.
Dang, man. That's serious right there.
Dude, I ball out, man. I don't mess around.
But that's not the point, because they have promised you and what you signed up under the guise, which we know now is the guise, of saving, roughly $1,000 a year going to see movies, going every day. And now that is just gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wonder how they're notifying people, like, because every month it's different. And it's like, hey, for next month, this is what we're going to be trying out. And I get, but I mean, how often are people going there and it changes right then and there? Because when you're going to see a movie using MoviePass, it's like I better check the news just to make sure I'm not going to get shafted here.
You definitely need to check. If you have it, you need to check the app before you commit to anything and see what the new changes are for the day.
And one more thing we should mention, Adam Tickets is running a promotion, adamtickets.com.
ATOM.
So what does Adam do? I've never heard of him.
Adam is an online ticketing service.
Kind of like Fandango or something?
Yeah, it's kind of like Fandango, but it's a little bit newer, but it's a really good service. And they're actually running a promotion, a sweepstakes, where if you cut up your MoviePass, let me finish this. I got to get it out. They cut you cut up your movie pass, you take a picture of it, you tweet them the picture, add them tickets. You get entered into a sweepstakes where you can win one movie a year for a year.
One movie a day or a week.
Yeah, I'm sorry, one movie a day.
It's $4,300 of value or something.
Right. Yeah. So that's awesome that they're doing that. I think it's great. And Adam is a good, reliable service that is not going to continue to
But
change
Adam
the
is
terms
not a
and conditions.
subscription-based service.
No, it's like
it's not
it's
because
like
it doesn't need to be.
they're just trying to push people to their service to buy tickets through that.
Okay.
It's like a Fandango.
All right, I thought it was supposed to be a
No.
replacement.
Yes,
All
but
right.
it's legit.
Well, we need to go to break. When we come back, I do want to just talk for a minute about this Tom Cruise article, and then we can go into our rewinds. And later in the show, we'll be giving away tickets to the Grand. We'll also be playing top 3 movies that grew on you, movies that you didn't like at first that you came to like over time. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Whew, Movie Pass. Let's all take a breath. We'll be right back on the Ticket Stub.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern, with 2 locations serving the greater Houston area. 18359 Tomball Parkway, just north of Willowbrook Mall, and 9630 FM 1960 Bypass West, across from Deerbrook Mall. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
What can the Better Living for Texans program do for you? You can learn how to increase your consumption of fruits and vegetables, choose foods that are relatively inexpensive and good to eat, make your food dollars last longer, prepare quick, nutritious meals, help your children learn how to eat healthier snacks, and much more. Our program is committed to helping people like you improve your health through providing research-based nutrition education in a friendly, cost-free, and relaxed environment. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
This is not a drill.
Repeat, this is not a drill.
All right, we're back on the Ticket Stub. Sorry, off the air. We can't quit the movie pass conversation. We're still going hard. Chris is so passionate.
Still fired up.
All right, before we get into our rewinds, which we'll have to do a little shorter version of our rewinds because we're
Well, you know what? I want to go plug real quick. $1 or whatever a year.
That's a good deal. Speaking of
yeah,
deals,
and
You know how many times we changed the terms and conditions on that? One time.
Yeah, I would
the
say
thing's been around like 5 years.
yeah, and you got rid of your
loved it.
history function on the app, and that pisses me off a little bit if I'm being honest. I used to be able to go and see all the movies I watched. Now I can't anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, what I loved about it was it cost me like $14 to get a large popcorn and a large drink. And when I say large, I mean like I would probably drink a fourth of it because it was just way too big. But it was good because I could share it.
Yeah.
And I was like, how is this? Because every time I think of going to the theater and buying food, it's like, it's going to cost me $50. just to like, get everyone something. But no, that was worth it. I'm just gonna let people know. Check out that rewards card.
Yeah.
That is a subscription service I can get behind. Plus, on your birthday, if you register your card, you get $5 value back to the grand. So it's a $5. And the first time you get it, you get a small drink and small popcorn. It pays for itself instantly.
Yeah.
If you don't,
and it is $10 a year, not $10 a month.
$10 a year. If you ever go to the Grand Theater one time and you're not a rewards member, then you are throwing your money down the toilet. Really quick, CNET.com had this article. This is maybe my favorite article that I've ever read. And it says that in a movie, if Tom Cruise runs over 1,000 feet, the movie has a 71% higher score.
How do they know how many feet?
Is this the same group that did the Corona thing?
Maybe so.
In Fast and the Furious, remember that? They're like, oh, how many Coronas are drank in the movie depends on its success.
But so it's 71 points higher average on Rotten Tomatoes if he runs 1,000 feet versus not. Also, more money. The average movie where he runs 1,000 feet makes $538 million adjusted gross.
Is the movie Legend on there? Because he runs a lot in there, and I don't think that.
Legend.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Legend's like 1981.
According to this article, he averages a 6-minute mile.
Oh wow!
based on his.
You know
speed.
what? Mine is 8:03. That's my record.
Hey, there we go.
He's got me beat.
He is. He's running more with age. He ran as far in Mission Impossible 3 as he did in his 12 previous films combined. About 3,200
That's
feet.
unfair.
About 3,200
like
feet.
Born on the
both.
4th of July, he was like disabled, so he couldn't be running that movie.
Yeah, do they have wheels?
Yeah, like how does that
far did he
even
wheel?
Yeah, I don't think the pedometer works on the wheels. I'm not
How
sure.
does that even
He had
work?
to have wheeled 1,000 feet.
And then he has run over 24,000 total feet on screen. I will tell you this. Before I read this article, I was watching the new Mission Impossible movie, and he is in a dead sprint for what must be over 1 mile in this film. And I'm thinking this is the most unrealistic part of this whole thing. But if for a 56-year-old, he's running for uncut pieces of film for maybe like 10 seconds in a row. Let's all go try to sprint for 10 straight seconds to see how well we do. Like, that's pretty impressive.
It's pretty good.
Anyways, Tom Cruise, keep on running, baby. I love it. I love
He's got a good run. He looks good running. He's one of those rare actors. Like Pierce Brosnan, no.
Steven Seagal.
Not
oh yeah, does he run?
Yeah,
I've never seen him run. Right?
Yeah, well, Tom Cruise has a really good. It's like his hands to
Yeah.
he just does it well. All right, let's move to rewinds. Let's try to do these kind of quick here. Chris, what did you? Well, because we're already almost at the second break.
I know.
Chris, what did you see this week?
I saw a disaster movie from 2008.
Is that like one of those scary movies?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It's got a 1% on Rotten Tomatoes. Right up my
Tom
alley.
Cruise did not run 1,000 feet in this movie.
So when Rotten Tomatoes has 1%, that means someone actually reviewed it
positively.
Oh, a lot of people reviewed it.
So, but I'm saying like, so if Rotten Tomatoes is 0%, that means no one's reviewed it, right?
No, that means they got all bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
I don't know that they'd give a score if no one reviewed it.
Yeah. So I'm going to do my rapid fire reviews.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay. All right. Jim Ridley from Village Voice rushed into production with no better drape for its threadbare gags than Cloverfield. This carpet fouling mongrel of a movie.
Is that a sexual thing?
I don't know. Carpet fouling mongrel no more deserves release than do anthrax spores.
Ooh.
This one's my favorite.
Ouch.
Patty Jones from something called George Strait. I don't know if it's a magazine or something, or she's just
a really good country singer.
No, this is a wonderful review. Disaster movie is one doo-doo that cannot be undid.
And then she puts any doo-doo be undid?
And then she puts home skillets.
Oh, this is not a real review.
It is. It is. Yeah.
I would call that probably not the top critics from Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so what else? Why did you watch this?
I don't know. It was on. I don't know. I was bored, so I put it on.
Clearly.
But it's got Kim Kardashian in it. But I did not know that before I turned it on.
That's why you watched it. Is she billed?
Yeah.
She's billed in the movie?
Yeah.
It's not like,
she's in it a lot.
Chris just watched her scene over and over and over again.
She's always good. It's got Vanessa Lachey.
She gets tickled.
Yeah.
I love you, Chris.
It's got Gary G. Thang Johnson. That's his name, actually. I don't know.
Yeah.
Carmen Electra.
Ain't nothing but a G thing.
Carmen Electra, Tony Cox, the little person from Bad Santa.
Oh.
And the guy that hopefully will soon be a guest on our show, David Bourne, the Robin Williams impersonator. He's actually in that movie.
Really?
So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he is. He's in the beginning part. So
Okay.
it's pretty cool. You know, it is what it is. If you just want to sit down and just shut your mind off completely, it's not the worst thing.
Did you laugh out loud at any points?
No.
Did you giggle at any point?
I rarely laugh out loud.
Laugh out loud.
Yeah.
Okay, Kim Jong.
Yeah, Team America. That's what I need to watch that again.
That is a fun
That'll
movie.
make me laugh
Speaking
out
of
loud.
comedies, okay.
Yeah, so anyway, it's
Did
not.
you ROFL?
I did not. I just
LMAO?
I just FL'd.
You just floor laughed.
Yep. Sure did.
All
But
right.
anyway, I would skip it if you're not doing anything.
Oh, really?
Not
That's
a bad deal.
surprising.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, all right, I'm done.
Okay, disaster movie sounds pretty awesome. Dick, what did you watch this week?
I had to do my punishment
from
2 shows ago. I saw Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. It was released like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, made over $170 million
If you have Movie
worldwide.
Pass, you can now watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that so?
2 weeks if it's out for 2 weeks.
It's directed by, I don't probably mispronounce it, Old Parker, I guess.
Sounds
and it stars the same cast pretty much. They added Andy Garcia.
And the Baby Driver girl.
I love him.
And then a couple people who were playing like younger versions or whatever.
Mhm.
So there's that. And
so there's that.
I will say, compared to the first one to this one, whoever mixed it, and I know it wasn't the theater because the way they would sing, because in the first one they would actually just have the song, like them singing, not so much music, but this one pretty much every song had a backtrack to it, like a B track to it or whatever. And sometimes it was louder than the voice of the person singing because I think that person can't sing, so that's how they kind of drown it out.
Did Andy Garcia sing?
Oh, so there's a couple funny moments I've had in the movie. Probably my favorite movie moment in this thing is when Cher comes on because she plays the grandmother, and her and Andy Garcia apparently had a fling in the past. Like everyone has flings in the past here, and they kiss. And it was like
the weirdest.
It
kiss
was
of all
like
time.
a person kissing a wall because she had so much plastic shirt. Like
She looks in the preview for this. She looked skeletal. She looked really bad.
She has two positions in her mouth. It's open and closed. Like there's no other movement. And when she sings, she's
Open surprised and closed surprised.
And outside that, I saw it with Leo from next door, and it was really funny because
he actually went with you. I heard you invite him, but I thought that was a joke.
Well, Jason was. I invited them over to watch the first one, so he did that, and he refused to go to the second one. So Leo went with me, and the greatest thing was Leo and I were having a good time watching the movie. It's a very enjoyable movie. Like if you're with people, it's enjoyable because you can make fun of it or whatever. But there was an ending song because the weirdest thing they did is Meryl Streep is dead. That was really odd to me. I was like, "You're killing the stars."
Spoiler alert.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. Like it happened to be.
Hey,
like, it was.
Hey, if only. If only.
Well, no, if Josh Gad was in it. If Josh
Be a
Gad,
lot more Oscars out there.
But
I might finally have a chance.
But no, it was really. And towards the end, there was a song singing about because the daughter's having a baby or whatever, and you see Meryl Streep, and I'm like, is she alive? Like, what's going on? Why do they see her? And she comes back and
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, I know. She starts
I got
singing with her,
better.
and then
Wow.
I look over and Leo's crying, and I was
Oh,
like,
no.
Okay, to clear this movie has impact on people. And it was, man, overall the movie. I will say, since it didn't have subtitles, I had no idea what they're singing about. Because luckily on the Netflix one they had subtitles, so I can actually understand. Because it's one of those jukebox movies where the song tells the story. I have no idea about what the song is. I don't know ABBA. So I had no idea a lot of times what was going on. Like when to figure out if the mom was dead or not, no idea until they had a picture on the wall. I was like, oh, that explains it. She's probably dead. Because in the song, it was like, I missed you. But I was like, who's she talking about? Where'd she go? What's going on? Like I had no idea what I was going into.
So this one was higher rated. I mean, is it better?
Nah, I mean, like
the same.
If you like that kind of movie, you're gonna love it. Whatever. And a lot of the stuff, there's a lot of actually plot points are really upsetting to me because like this woman slept with 3 dudes in a course of like 2 days. It seemed like because they didn't know who the dad was.
Yeah.
And what I learned physically from my nurse fiance is women ovulate for only 2 to 3 days out of the month.
Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of not that easy to get pregnant, even if people accidentally do it all the time.
And I will say, we said in the last podcast, I go, I'm really interested to see how they portray this woman sleeping with 3 dudes within a time frame like that. Because most scenarios like that you see as a negative thing, like, oh, she's loose or something like that. She's, a sleazy woman or whatever. Yeah. They showed it, and it was somewhat entertaining, but like I still don't get why this woman would raise her daughter alone on an island and not tell anybody.
Yeah, because it turns out it was all at the same time, right?
It was all around the same time. Yeah.
Oh, that not at the same time. So it wasn't four of them in a room.
It wasn't like what? Yeah,
okay.
It wasn't like that.
All right, that's what I thought it was.
I told you, I was saying I was interested how they present
That'd
it.
be interesting.
But I think
that'd be a different movie.
And I think this also gives me I laugh because people overlook this stuff, and I had this kind of conversation in my mind going, when you're doing musicals, most of the time it's either the music tells the story and it's actually really happening. So when I'm singing to you, I'm really telling you something and it's supposed to represent.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where it's just a theatrical representation of something. So like I made the comparison of, Beauty and the Beast. When all the teacups and stuff are talking, that represents a person.
Mm-hmm.
But when they do like Be Our Guest, all the napkins and the huge, everyone's like, so are those all individual people?
Yeah.
Or is it just kind of like, hey, we're having fun? Because like, for example, there's a lot of scenes in the town where the whole town gets together and sings. So it's like, do they know they're singing? Like when I go back to the bar, I'm like, hey, there's John. We just sang this really great number together. Or is it just supposed to represent we're having fun? You know what I'm talking about?
That reminds me of the great scene in the movie Hot Rod. Have y'all seen Hot Rod with Andy Sam?
They have a number.
Next week, Hot Rod. Yeah, when they do the singing thing and then it like breaks down into anarchy in the streets.
Yeah. And that's what kind of threw me about this movie, because there's a lot of like real emotional stuff, but I couldn't remember, like, do they remember having this song? Like, because there's some side characters to it. And it was just kind of weird because I didn't know if it was really happening or it was supposed to be in their mind happening.
How was my man, Pierce?
Oh, he was wonderful. And one thing I will say from a movie production side, these people got paid to do nothing.
Yeah.
Because you could tell none of them were actually in the same set at the same time. It was like a handful of people. So like when Cher was on, they put Cher on a balcony. So every scene Cher was in, you could just see like when they look up, it's either you could see a double or something. And then when it showed Cher, she wasn't with anybody else. It was just Cher just looking down, just doing this little like that. So I will say the production of it, they probably made so much money being in this movie.
Yeah.
Like Pierce Brosnan, I think he probably spent a week. And he was in like scenes with probably 6 of the actors out of like the 15. And so it's just like, man, can you imagine scheduling this movie? And it's just like, yeah, come work for a week. We'll pay a couple million.
Hell yeah.
And don't sing, Pierce. Because he did whisper a couple songs.
Oh, they didn't have him sing.
They kind of like it was there. I was waiting for him to go for it, but he didn't go for it. He was just like,
all right. Well, we need to go to break in just a second. When we come back, I'm going to rewind my movie, 3 Identical Strangers. But quickly, rapid rewind. Mission Impossible Fallout. Saw it this week. Exactly what you want. Exactly what you'd expect. 8th Grade, directed by Bo Burnham, who I love from YouTube fame.
Yeah.
It was okay. Getting a ton of praise. The girl, amazing. It was a little bit too much. I feel like it glorified a little bit too much being a teen punk with lots of attitude. Kind of our whole culture is about like catering to 12-year-old girls.
A lot of 8th graders are boring. Like I was a boring 8th grader.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'm not having a movie based off of my life.
Yeah. I was like, you want to go watch more TV or what? But 8th Grade, I would say it'll probably get some, the girl was really, really good. She was a no-name or basically a no-name. And I think did a fantastic job. And it was well made. It was a really well-made movie. I just didn't love it. When we come back from break, I'm going to talk about 3 Identical Strangers, which is the movie I want to rewind this week. We're going to give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater, and then we're going to do top 3 movies that grew on you, as well as talk about how you can win more tickets for next week. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern, with 2 locations serving the greater Houston area. 18359 Tomball Parkway, just north of Willowbrook Mall, and 9630 FM 1960 Bypass West, across from Deerbrook Mall. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Hey, Montgomery County and online listeners. Thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM, or worldwide at irlongstar.com.
Statistics show that 1 out of every 6 Texans struggles with food insecurity and hunger. And many people don't eat enough fruits and vegetables every day. The Better Living for Texans program is here to help you learn how to make healthy menu choices, save money at the grocery store, prepare quick and delicious meals, get more good nutrition in your day, and get more physical activity. Classes are fun, friendly, interactive, and free, and taught in English and Spanish. We are Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, helping Texans make their lives better.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, president of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
We're back on the Ticket Stub. If you missed us the first two segments, we talked Movie Pass in the ever-changing saga. Tom Cruise.
I think we're still talking Movie Pass.
We'll never quit. Yeah. Tom Cruise.
It's so great. I'm gonna subscribe today.
Do it, man. Hey, now's the time to hop in. Tom Cruise in his running. Chris rewound the very terrible Disaster movie at a 1%. Dick did Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, which was a blah. On a scale of 1 to 5, it was bleh.
Well, I will say, coming out of the theater, pretty much everyone that watched it with us loved it.
Everyone was happy.
Yeah, like they started talking to me about it. Like, didn't you just love that movie? And I was like,
well, here's the deal. If a movie makes people happy, then that's what it's really there for, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, if anything, I wouldn't be ABBA right now because they're probably getting paid bucos for their royalties.
Residuals. I went and saw a movie called 3 Identical Strangers, which is in limited theaters now. Had to drive all the way to the Willowbrook Mall to watch this one because it was the only place locally that it was showing.
Movie Pass?
I was going to. Yeah, I was going to. And when I got there, it had disappeared off of the Showtime list right before I could.
That movie or the theater?
All movies. The theater was there, and it said no available Showtimes. Because I was even going to use Movie Pass to buy a different ticket, but then it wasn't having any tickets showing. So that was a bummer. It is a documentary. It is directed by Tim Wardle, who is a guy from BBC. The plot is in 1980 New York, 3 young men who were all adopted meet each other, find out they're triplets who were separated at birth. Then they discover why. So I'll say this. I don't want to say too much because there's a lot here that I didn't see come. I mean, I knew that it was going to be about triplets who found each other, who didn't know that they were brothers. They didn't know they had a brother. And it starts off, one of them goes to college. And this doesn't spoil anything. It's the first scene. This movie starts off fast and furious. It doesn't waste any time. It's right into the plot. I mean, in the first 3 minutes, 2 brothers have already found each other. The one goes to college. And he's walking around. It's a great moment. He's walking around. Everyone's like high-fiving him and hugging him and like giving him kisses and stuff. And he's like, man, this is a really friendly college. And then they started calling him by a name that wasn't his name. And he started to think something was weird. And it turns out that his twin brother had been there the semester before and had dropped out or had not come back. And he arrives on campus and everyone thinks it's the brother.
So is it all one actor playing all 3 parts?
No, it's a documentary. This is a true,
it's a documentary.
This is a true story.
Oh,
whoa. You're saying the coincidence of a brother going to school, dropping out, the chances of him dropping out, and then the chances of another
twin brother next semester showing up.
This is
okay. I guess you can doubt the true story.
It was Kentucky. It was Kentucky.
I guess you can doubt that this is a true story, but I mean, there's like tons of family members, and I mean, they interview reporters, all of the family, both are all the brothers. I mean, the wives. I mean, everyone's involved. I don't know that this is a big cover up here, at least in this regard. But it starts off, and in the first 10 minutes, what you think is the whole story of their lives. So the first 10 minutes is crazy and action-packed and interesting and unbelievable. And then I would say the next 20 minutes or so, it's a little bit repetitive. They're really hammering home. These guys their mannerisms are the same. They smoke the same cigarettes. They like the same girls. They like the same cars, even though they were raised in different households. And they keep showing like some of the they keep showing some of the same footage over and over again and all this other kind of stuff. And you're kind of like, oh gosh, how much longer is in this movie? And then it turns and they start to peel the onion back. And they start investigating, why were these triplets separated at birth? And from there, the movie takes a crazy turn in some wild, weird, and I don't want to say anything more about it. I just want to leave the big tease out here.
Is it an alien abduction?
It does not have to do with aliens. It is not a supernatural.
They're not brothers.
It is not a supernatural turn, but it is you could call it in some ways pretty dark.
One of them still has a brother in him.
Oh,
but I'll say this:
Total Recall.
It kept blowing my mind over and over again. And one of the coolest things about the actual filmmaking here was that they would reveal something new, and then they would go back to all the stuff they'd already told you, and you'd be like, "How did I not see it before?" You know, it's like as they reveal stuff in the plot of the movie, they go back and show you the hints from the other stuff they had said. Which really what they're doing is they're telling the story in kind of a linear fashion, and they're also saying, "I don't know how we didn't see it."
Oh, that was a clue.
Yeah, a clue. Yeah, exactly.
I think I figured it out.
Yeah, but did you? And so it's crazy. Like again, I'll just kind of leave it there. I want y'all to see this so that I can talk to you about it off the air at some point. But I'm confident that this will be up for best documentary at the end of the year with the Oscars because it was well made. It was super compelling. As far as documentaries go, they had a really good balance of like talking head, actor recreation, found footage type stuff. Just really all around really well done. It ends on it gets a little bit, I don't know, kind of sanctimonious maybe at the very last couple, like the last 2 minutes, they start to really try to moralize a little bit, and I'm kind of like, okay, we don't need this part. And I don't know that there's really a criticism. I don't know that there's really resolution at the end of the whole story. It's like the story's not over yet, but they made the movie anyways.
Are they still alive?
Yes. Yeah. So
too bad, right?
Hey, I'll say this: 2 of them are.
Yeah. What other one's a girl?
Yeah. No, that's not true. Okay, so
they're no longer strangers.
2 of them are still alive. One of them
is this like Icarus?
May not.
Like the twist, is it like that? Where like while they're doing this documentary, and like, oh my god,
no, it's not. Well, kind of.
I mean, Icarus was that. That's what made it cool because 60 minutes in the movie, you're like, this is gonna get boring.
I'll say
it's like, boom.
I will say that my emotional range kind of tracked alongside Icarus, where it's like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, I'm kind of bored. Whoa, what is going on here? And so it's kind of like that. So this will not be in theaters very long, I don't imagine, unless it really picks up because it's already limited. But it'll be available
as documentaries do, which never happens.
That's true. It'll be available streaming at some point, probably before too long. So when it is, if you could rent it on Amazon or find it on streaming, please do it. This is a really, really, really cool movie. All right, we got to move quick here. Grand ticket giveaway. Last week, the question was about an actor who passed on a role. Winner Brent Medford. Tommy Lee Jones passed on playing Captain Ramsey. So is that right?
I was going for Val Kilmer, but there could have been several.
Oh, well, we had a couple.
Yeah, we'll give it.
We had a couple Val Kilmers and a couple Tommy Lee Jones. Apparently, maybe they both passed on the role. So even beyond what we thought. Well, good job, Brent.
You guys don't know? Why would you ask a question I didn't know the answer to?
Well, I might not have read.
I wasn't even here
all the way.
I wasn't even here last week.
That's true.
You gotta keep it simple.
Kiss, man. Keep it simple.
I thought it was.
Okay, well, whatever. All right, top 3 movies that grew on you. Let's go around the circle. What we're gonna do is we'll all do our 3s. I'll do our 2s. I'll do our 1s. Have you thought of any in the whole? It's been 45 minutes. Okay, well, Chris and I can play then. Top 3 movies that grew on you. Chris, number 3. These are the ones that you've seen at one point. Maybe at first you didn't really like it, or you kind of liked it, or whatever, and then you've seen it a few more times, and now you've come to really like or even love them.
Number 3 for me is License to Kill, the James Bond movie with Timothy Dalton. Okay. Yeah, because it was really like the first Bond movie that was like super dark. Like there was no happiness about it, no lightheartedness. It was just like straight up just drug dealer killing people. And I didn't get it the first time. I was like, well, that's not really a Bond movie. Now I love it.
Yeah. So you think it was more about like expectations of what a Bond movie should be versus?
Yeah. I mean, it was very serious. And at the time I wasn't into that as Bond.
Okay. So. Did you on your list, do you think that stage of life mattered with some of your movies, some of your choices?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I feel like all of mine were ones that I saw. Well, I guess it'd be hard to have one now that I love because time is part of it. But when I saw
like you hated Schindler's List when you were 5, but now you love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Respect.
But all of them, I think were it was a phase of life thing that was part of why all of them for me. Number 3, my third most loved movie that I didn't like at first was the movie Anchorman.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie.
Oh yeah, well now I do. Surprisingly enough, for whatever reason, the first time I saw Anchorman, I liked it. I won't say I didn't like it. I liked it, but it was very forgettable. For as quotable as Anchorman is like one of the most quotable movies ever made, in my opinion.
All right, give me a quote.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Yeah,
the man punted Baxter. I don't speak Spanish.
San Diego, Wales.
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah.
Anyways, so But the first time I saw it, I couldn't remember the quotes, and I'm usually pretty good at that. It just kind of came in one ear, out the other ear, if you will. A bunch of my friends loved it so much, and I never really got it. I was like, Anchorman?
I love Lamp.
Because I remember it was somewhere around the same time as Dodgeball. I don't remember what but I was like, dude, Dodgeball is a far superior movie to Anchorman in my mind. On rewatch, I have since changed my tune. Anchorman is one of my favorite comedies. Just so good. It's Will Ferrell at his most Will Ferrelliest.
I think comedies are probably going to be featured in this list.
Okay.
Because
we'll
especially with your humor grows and changes, it's like Schindler's List was a comedy, right? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, very funny. All right, Chris, number 2.
Number 2 for me is Road to Perdition.
Another comedy.
Yes, it's, the hilarious film by Sam Mendes. But no, I didn't. I thought it was boring the first time I saw it. I was probably not in the right mood. I remember watching it late at night. I was by myself at the theater, and I just didn't get it. It was probably like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I guess I was just tired. But subsequent viewings of it, I've really enjoyed.
Wait,
okay.
You were at the theater at 2 in the morning, and you watched. As the general manager, can you just put a movie on at the theater anytime you want?
Yeah, I could, but but that was back when we had film, so you had to do that. You had to watch it before it went to the general public.
Oh, okay.
So you don't have to do that now because it's all like automated where it just checks it itself. So
okay.
You don't really do that anymore. But
so what do you do?
I push a button and then a file it scans a file and it's
funny.
like, yeah, this is good to go. There's a little voice that's like, yep.
I've only seen Road to Perdition one time, and it was boring. So maybe I need to open my heart back up to it.
It's fantastic. The acting and Paul Newman he's so good in that movie.
Yeah.
I would say like my list isn't like I necessarily hated it, but every time I see it, it gets better and better and better.
Okay.
So There Will Be Blood is one of those movies where like I think when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, what's the big deal?
That's kind of an also ran on my list. I don't have it on there, but I was
like
the same as
every
you.
time I watch it, I'm like, man, this movie's really good. Like this is so crazy.
Yeah.
It blew me away when I first saw it.
So it didn't when I first did. I was kind of bored, but on further watches, I really have grown to like that one. Didn't quite make the list.
I think Paul Thomas Anderson movies do that to me.
Yeah.
Like I saw Boogie Nights because someone referred it to me, and I was like, what's so good about this movie? But then you see it again, and you're like, I'm captivated. I'm in this. I like this.
Yeah.
And like Punch Drunk Love, same kind of concept, a little weirder, but it's still good.
So my number 2, speaking of that, which for me, Tarantino is kind of that way as well. Inglourious Bastards is my number 2.
Really? I still hate that movie.
Oh, I love that movie now. The first time I saw it, again, kind of bored, kind of confused, didn't really click, whatever the reason was. And I think a lot of Tarantino, first time I saw Pulp Fiction, a lot of people act like that was some religious experience for them. I may have been a little young to really have gotten everything. But I mean, a lot of the Tarantino movies, the Kill Bills, which I think they're pretty cool now. First time I saw them, thought they were weird. He's a weird dude and the dialogue is different. You have to kind of get him on board. But I love Inglourious.
Well, he's also one of those directors that you have to see the movie more than once.
Yeah.
Mainly because just the Easter eggs or the way he directs.
I mean, we all know my feelings about Quentin Tarantino, but
you really like him, right?
I have to give.
He spit on her face.
Yes, in Inglourious Bastards.
That's right.
Yes. Inglourious Bastards, the scene where Michael Fassbender's in the bar and the Nazi captain comes over and he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That is one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I thought it was masterfully directed and written, and it was acted. It was just a perfect scene, and it just had me right.
I always felt that movie was too separated by the scenes.
That's
like
part of
each
what I
scene
liked.
was really good.
It was almost like
but they didn't connect to me. So I was like, I really am missing something here, or I'm missing
for whatever reason that hit with me. It was kind of like almost individual stories that are kind of tying together.
It felt like I used the restroom and I didn't leave my phone to record the scenes I missed.
So
that's what it felt like.
You didn't leave your phone.
Yeah.
You guys don't do that? You guys don't leave your phone? And like,
I forgot about that article. All right, Chris, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Titanic.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. When it comes to movies that long, how are you able to watch it again? Like, that movie is like 3 hours plus.
Well, it was years.
Like, because I saw all the Lord of the Rings extended versions in one sitting.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll never see those movies again. I like those movies.
Yeah.
But every time it's on TV, I'm like, nope. And I was able to refuse to see that movie again. So you will watch this movie again?
I did, yeah. I mean, I the first time I was like, I just don't get it. Which is weird to say about the Titanic, because you either get it or you don't. I mean,
the boat sinks.
No, but I don't know. But you know, James Cameron and the work that he did. I think the deal is I went and I watched his documentaries about the Titanic and going down or whatever.
More.
Yeah, so I kind of appreciated it more and what he was trying to do with the movie. So now I like it.
I just love the meme about how they could both fit on the door at the end. It was like someone drew it on the ground and then they showed all the different positions they could have been in where they could both fit. But instead, that little girl, Rose, she just let him go. I'll never let go. She says, I'll never let go, Jack. And then within 10 seconds has released him to the depths of the ocean.
Yeah, so he's the only one that sinks too.
Do you think James Cameron actually had like conversations at the producer's table? Like, how can we end this movie? Like, we really, because he's one of those directors that pays attention to every detail and he storyboards everything for like 2 years. And I always wonder, like, why did no one bring this up? Hey, this ending doesn't really make a lot of sense. Even the dialogue conflicts with what happens. Like, no, because you could easily change it. You could easily make it a smaller door. Or like literally, or you know, she tries to hold on and she loses him. But no, it's more of like there you go.
Or the Meg comes and grabs his leg and drags him down.
Well,
to the
he could have been
That'd
like,
be a cool
it could have been easily like she's trying to hold him on for as long as possible. It'd be even weird if he died in her arms because he freezes to death, and then that's when he has.
Yeah, that'd be better. Just freeze to death. Or she could say, "My hands are so cold, I can't grip you anymore."
Yeah. Pretty sure whenever he was criticized for this movie, he was like, "I'm making this movie for 16-year-old girls. Okay, it doesn't matter."
Well, that doesn't mean it can't be quality, okay? My number one, I don't know if it'll be surprising. I've talked about it several times here on the show. The Big Lebowski. I'll tell you, part of the first experience without watching this was just the situation. I was a teenager, and my mom rented it because she heard it was so critically acclaimed or whatever, and we watched it together. And my mom is very, she's not one to do that kind of thing. They were very like conservative about the movies I could watch growing up. I was maybe like this was very out of character. And even with all the terrible language and all the bad stuff, we watched, I think, the entire thing together, which is very awkward for a young teenager to watch The Big Lebowski with your mom with all of the themes and elements involved in it. I didn't get it. I was uncomfortable. It was weird. Everything else, I'll say the Coen brothers, maybe kind of like Tarantino, probably not meant for kids mostly, maybe needs another watch or two to really appreciate a lot of they're so quirky in their dialogue and the way they make them. But man, I love this. This is one of my favorite comedy movies. So good. So many lines, so many quotes, so many things that just exist in culture now. That I love The Big Lebowski, and I can watch it over and over and over again, even though the first time I really did not appreciate it at all. So that's my number one. So Titanic, Road to Perdition, License to Kill. I'm Big Lebowski, Inglourious Bastards, Anchorman. Dick, you are just kind of generally Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yeah, most of his movies are. Yeah. I would say like,
which I would agree with you on that.
There's like Mamma Mia would be one because the second one sucked. So clearly I'm going to like the first one more. But no, realistically, there was a movie as a romantic comedy that Notting Hill. That's one of those movies that every time I watched, it got better because it's on one of those TV stations on like Saturday afternoons or whatever. And I was like, this movie isn't that bad. And then the music's not bad.
I have not seen it, avoided it. All right. Well, next week, we're going to give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater. I will not be here, but hopefully this question actually has one answer, not multiple answers. Yes,
well,
sir.
And when you come back, we're going to play a game. And if you lose, you got to cut up your movie pass and tweet it to Adam Tickets.
Are you making this up right now?
No, you already agreed to it, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. Well, our question for next week.
You heard it.
And if I win, I have to get movie pass.
Oh, no, that should be Chris's punishment. Is he has to subscribe to Movie Pass. Next week, in honor of Christopher Robin, whatever the actual title of that movie is coming out. Winnie the Pooh. I did a little research on Winnie the Pooh. It is the name is inspired by a real bear from the London Zoo. Originally from what location? Winnie the Pooh. Originally from where? Which is where the name came from. He's from a certain place. Name Winnie the Pooh originated kind of from the place
Dump Island.
All right, we're going.
So tweet us at Ticket Stub at the _ Ticket Stub to win tickets. Next week, Sean K. Thompson will be in studio with Chris and Dick. For them, my name is Connor, signing off here on the Ticket Stub.
This is not a drill.
Repeat.